Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to this space if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Of course, hi. If you are new here, this space is called Opal Oracle, and it's nice to have you. I also want to wish everyone a happy birthday this month. Maybe I missed your birthday last time, or what have you, but I feel like I'm recording this in Libra season, and the sun being in Libra is really beautiful, right? It's shedding light upon our relationships, and the ones with ourselves, with God, with each other. And what is the sun but positivity, right? And creation, courage, perhaps to, I don't know, make some boundaries, like good boundaries with people, or kind of, I don't know, brave enough to speak your mind or how you feel, and coming at that from a calm, responsible place, right? Awesome. Also, if you're into astrology, you could also, especially if you have any stars in Libra's house, you could think of this where the sun is also illuminating that space if you want to have a little extra layer. So, this month we're making a pyramid. Should we start at the top or the bottom? Maybe we should reword that. Should we start with what's closer or farther away? I guess what's within reach is probably the best place to start. It's a little easier that way too. Let's see about it. Oh, yes, Capricorn appreciates that. Go Saturn. Go Saturn. Okay. Okay, something so powerful here about Capricorn. Saturn energy. Okay. Between now and January, so this is October, November, December, we hit January, so a 3-month process. That's really big. There may be some things that need to get gone through, or need to be clear. The path needs to be cleared some way, somehow. There's this briar card. Can you see that? There's a damselfly upon it. That's a female dragonfly. You can tell the difference. Females put their arms back when they rest. They put their wings down. When they rest, a dragonfly, a male, always leaves its wings out to show its size. So, let's see here. So there's something that someone is up against, right? They're like, okay, I got to get through here. And I feel like one could headbutt their way through. But if you do that, you're going to kind of have to keep your eyes closed. Now, the thing is you have this goat in the briar. Now, a goat would eat this briar. It doesn't have to just push through and cut itself all up, like hurt itself. It actually can take what is difficult and digest it. It's possible to do that. It may make the path a little bit slower, but perhaps that's part of this damselfly's message and medicine here. The slow and steady path is something to pay attention to, because when it comes to getting to, because then it's so interesting. It's like sorry, I should switch the table horizontally, but right now it's vertically because that's the way it was. So I'm just working with what I got. So we have the goat that goes into the briar. And then the mountain is on the other side of that. See, he's in like the valley right now with the wheat. Beautiful sun behind him. Nice clear day. Then there's again, I'm seeing this briar as like thicker bushes kind of in between this comfort zone. There's, again, a little bit of difficulty, but as long as you can digest, like take in the challenge, right? Let's see your top card. Value. Let's read about this. It says, I am a valuable member of my team, and I bring a unique component to this life. I will not accept any self-conscious doubts about whether or not I belong here, and all inner questions about my worth must be submitted in writing, then subsequently burned in a tire fire. So you do have to believe in, somebody needs to believe in themselves, you know. Now, of course, efforts, right? Doing the hard thing, for instance, getting through the thicker bushes, trying to go to the mountain and not to conquer it, but to know that's on your path. And it's like, okay, I can see the mountain in the distance. And, you know, when you get there, you'll be ready for it. Right? It'll be the right season. It'll be right time. Maybe a part of this is like, if you tried to do whatever this process is too quickly, like say you just headbutted your way through the briar, pushed it all aside, although you're going to get tangled, and then made it to the mountain. It's like, you may make it to the mountain, you know, again, if you rush a process, you may arrive at a place that is not the right time. So with all this Capricorn Saturn energy, it's about being patient, but it's not, but you have to keep moving forward. It can't just be like a standstill, sort of stagnant energy, because we also have the Three of Swords and the Knight of Disc, which is a Taurus energy, which is the Knight here is the slowest one. And there's somebody here that could be upset with someone else, maybe having to do with someone's actions or lack thereof. Like someone wants someone to believe in themselves or to speak the truth, right? Why do people lie, cheat, and steal? Because they're not being honest with themselves, right? So then that is expressed via, you know, a projection through their external world too, right? So interesting energy. I feel like we're talking fast. Let's slow down a little bit. Oh, I see. There's definitely a plan of action that is needed. And it's as if this foundational energy, and anything to me, the way I see it is when it has to do with Saturn or Capricorn, it is always a bit difficult, yes, but it is the most rewarded, right? And this energy is going this way. It's like going towards the left. This stagnant, dishonest energy going towards the right. They're going in different directions, right? And what sits in between then is value. And so I guess one of the messages too is when we are disrespected, what feels that way is because when a person does not respect themselves, then they are not respected by other people. Do you know what I mean? When you don't understand your own value, then your value is usually, you know, there's like a mirror of that around. You know, again, when someone's dishonest for some reason, even about how they feel, or I don't know, like actions, perhaps even prior actions, I feel like someone doesn't, like it's like as if someone knows, but they don't know. And I don't really feel like this is your energy technically, but this is your reading. So there is no, oh, my head is so hot. Just a second. I plainly heard, stop taking less than. Stop taking less than, please. I mean, does that mean one deserves the most and the best? Not necessarily, but wherever you're at, there's something where there's a part of something here where it thinks it's less than. And the heron has something to do with this. I also see a rattle and a peacock. There's Capricorn again. If you're trying to convince anyone else of, how do I explain this? I keep focusing on the thing that, like, these two cards here, these are not going to change. It's like, it's stagnant energy. It's the Three of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. This is pain, stagnancy and pain, right? It's an old situation. It's something that we're like, and these are two different people. It's like, somebody's like, hey, don't you know you do this because of that? And they're just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to change. I don't want to, like, it doesn't want to. So if you're trying to help anybody, remember that if they don't want the help and you've tried, then to change the situation or other people to understand something better, it's like, yes, your example matters. But the technical direction is like, if it's not asked for or what have you, it's like, it doesn't matter how much you love someone, it's not going to change who they are. You know, they have to find their own means of understanding, and perhaps someone's in a like a stagnant cycle over here. So in that, just, I mean, be kind. Right? And perhaps understand the value of what's important here, I guess, is for you at this time to recognize what your value is. How do you value your team? Who's on your team? You know, what are your unique components that you bring to the table? And wherever you have any self-conscious doubts about whether or not you belong to what you're a part of, you know, where you know that it's healthy, then reinforce that. You know, again, when we're disrespected, we're not respecting ourselves, right? So back to the Saturn. This is all like, okay, go toward the mountain. I want to see if there's any advice as you go along on the mountain. The Queen of Discs. These cards are really cool. It's actually one of my favorite decks. Okay, this is another Capricorn energy. I'm actually not thinking of these readings in a zodiacal way, but this very well could be Capricorn's reading. If it doesn't end up being that, this is really strong in your map, okay? Saturn in your map. So, well, I guess what this is saying is that hard work pays off, and one's actions how one uses their time, how one values their time, well, that is highly rewarded. And maybe for some of you, there's something very interpersonal that is distracting from, there's something interpersonal here that is not changing. Now, does this mean every interpersonal situation is bad or negative or they're all liars or whatever? No, but there's something super stuck over here that you have to put aside. And you know, it's interesting. I almost wanted to wait because you're the fourth reading that I've done for October. And every single one has talked about snipping something, cutting something off, making a boundary with something. But it's not like this kind of boundary, you know, an angry boundary, a resentment boundary. It's just a healthy, right? We're in autumn. happy equinox, by the way. We're in autumn now, unless you're in Australia, happy spring. But it's the change of season. You know, either way, we have to, if it's spring for you, you got to let go of the seed, right? If it's autumn for you, you have to cut the fruit off the plant, right? And then from there, you have to preserve it. If you're the one planting, if it's your planting time, then you got to let go of the seed. You have to feel good about that, you know, water it, go over and check on it. There's a lot of steps that are very tight in the beginning, right? That you have to pay attention to. Once it's established, then it can kind of grow on its own. And again, if this is your harvest time, then you have to cut that which from the plant and take out all the old and then you have to preserve it, right? So that it can last through the season. So there's a lot of forward thinking here that's needed if you're in that mentality where you're like, okay, I know this, I have to do this and get this out of the way. This is going to take a lot of work, but once I do that, I'm going to feel it's going to be smooth sailing, right? Because the goat loves the mountain, right? That's its natural habitat. But there's a little bit of space in between here. And actually, the dragonfly is showing the way. So this is about transformation too. And you know, thorns are ruled by Mars. So maybe Scorpio rules insects too. So it's almost like Capricorn, Scorpio, Capricorn. Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn. What's that one about? You have to keep your eyes on the prize, okay? You see that mountain in the distance? You want to make sure you keep that mountain in sight, right? Keep the peak of the mountain in sight. This is where I'm going. This is my direction. Not just right in front of you like, oh, there's all these thicker bushes. How do I get out of this? I'm never going to be out of this. Look, there's too much. No, briars don't grow that high. You know, usually they're bunched or they go straight up the tree. So it's not a big deal. But this is like a briar can be like any thistled, thorned thing that when it's not pruned, then it grows all into itself and it makes almost like an impasse. But again, the goat has the ability to take this difficulty in, digest it, and actually use it for power to get themselves to the next space. But if you focus on that which you cannot change or that which has happened that is irrelevant now, which is a part of the devaluing of something, you know? I mean, this could be where, I don't know, someone's still really hurt by what someone said to them at some point in time. Why are you giving that so much power? What someone thought about you. You know, if it wasn't true. And if it was, and you can recognize that, have the integrity about it, right? If you can really, you know, and that's hard to break the ego chain, but like if you can really get in there, then what happens is you can totally shift your mentality and be like, well, you know, maybe I am a little bit like that, right? And then recognize like, okay, well, I want to be a better person. And you know, because all people that come in our lives are a blessing in a certain way, right? So I want you to keep positive about the future. Yes. Keep focused. Okay, this is very practical matters too. It could be financial for some of you. It could have to do with work, any kind of responsibility. Particularly, again, if this doesn't end up being Capricorn's reading, please look at your Capricorn, your Saturn energy. Because what you're meant to learn in this time is recognizing your own value as a member of the group, right? and what you bring to the table, and feeling confident about that, you know? No bragging rights here. It's just like, okay, yeah, I have this to offer, and you feel comfortable about that because you've done the work to do it, right? Someone has years of experience in something, well, you come to know it a lot better, you know? And then there's an easier communication from a new space, right? And I do see actually hard work being very much rewarded. Like someone could, I don't know, some of you could receive some kind of accolade or I don't know, gift or something that, you know, because if someone's working, say someone's putting in effort to try to receive something, then the likelihood of that, it probably won't be there. You know, if the intention is, well, I have this in front of me and I need to do this so that, because if I do this, I need to do this to do that, to get to my point of direction, then it reminds me, what's that saying? Like, there's something here about the destination. Yeah, Fool. Yeah, it's about the destination. And it definitely is something strong between now and the end of the year. Huh. Suppose you could also look at your second house too, if you're aware of that. That could be helpful. Second, eighth house, that axis. Right? Because how you value yourself in a way is also the karma that we end up receiving from like working with others, right? Interesting. Let's put all this old stuff away. Someone also received this map, this puzzle. They talked about a puzzle or like a maze. That could also be helpful. All inner questions about my own worth must be submitted in writing. So maybe you want to do this for yourself. You know, if you have any questions or whatever your doubts are, write them down. What are you doubting in yourself right now? And then try to answer the why, right? Page of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Absolutely, yes. This will give you great insight. And I do see where there was a time where someone said something to you and it actually was true. But it's like you didn't believe it or you didn't want to believe it. And this could be positive or negative, but either way, it's like it's still true. It has truth in it. So, you know, maybe it's someone told you how strong you are, how beautiful you are, how capable you are, magical or whatever, talented. And you're just like, am I? Like, I don't know. You know, or someone told you that you were impatient or you're not a good listener or you know, you don't keep up with your responsibilities or something. And maybe you don't, you know, like, so, but this says good fortune is about to smile upon you. And this luck might come in the form of something small. Or it might be something more significant. What do you think good fortune is? Like, what's a good life to you? Do you know what I mean? What is that to you? What's a good relationship? Do you have any doubts about goodness? And why is that? I know, so many questions in this space. It's because I can't answer it for you. I'm just a messenger. But I do love you. I hope you have a wonderful equinox and a wonderful month. I'll talk to you before Halloween, so I'll wish you a happy Halloween then. But if you do celebrate, if you're where you celebrate that, what are you going to be? You know, a little bit of preparation here is a really good thing. I would definitely think about from now until the new year. And whenever you find this, you could think about the coming year, or at least a 3-month process, right? Of what are some things that need to be handled, and just, you know, getting it done. Yeah, I thank you so much for all your love and support. All of you here are really, you know, 99.8% of you here, awesome, all awesome, you know, besides those weird porn bots, but they're not really people. But yeah, the support that's here, and I really don't have words for it. And specifically, the energy that came through in August and through early September was really beautiful and needed. I feel like there was a lot of exchange of prayer and good thoughts, and you know, giving back to that which is given to you. And I thank you for that. It was very felt and honestly quite needed. So thank you for your love. And keep up the good work. Whatever all that Saturn is, it obviously goes, those are all positive cards to me. It's like, you can do it. You know, it's kind of like final exam. You know, like you've been on the road, like, you know what to do. It's all your natural territory too. So it's not a big a deal as you think that it is. Maybe it just goes back into those self-doubts sometimes, you know. And of course, with all that work, make sure that you're resting accordingly too, right? You can't push through 100%. Yes. Thank you for our interaction, whenever that is. Private readings, this here. If you've joined Patreon too, thank you. These are, you know, all 3 of these are extra steps that you're taking to want to get to know yourself better, and obviously have better relationships with other people, and to bring more peace into the world. And that's a really beautiful thing, and I thank you for that. If you are new here and you're curious about Patreon, that's an extra thing. There's information below. But there's a lot of classes. I give classes over there, astrology from basic to advanced, and there's herbal medicine readings and animal medicine and mythology, and I've been doing a weekly motivational Mondays, which are sort of short and cute for the week when I have time. And yeah. So anyway, if you've already been over there, thank you so much. And if you'd like to check it out, please feel free. All right. I'll talk to you later. Peace.